Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing this morning? I'm slightly out of breath. Ran back up the stairs. Got my drink of water this morning. I've already had my coffee, so I'm on to a big glass of water. I see someone is on. If you're on this morning, will you just say hey or something in the chat? And that way I'll know that you're on and I can say good morning to you specifically. I would love that. Who is that that's on today so far? Well, there's a few of you, and I'm glad that you're here this morning. Hi, Diane. I hope you're doing well. Been thinking of you. You've been in my prayers, girl. So this has been, for me, a really amazing week, which is kind of crazy. Hi, Jackie. Nice to see you this morning. Is this your first time on the Fireside chat? Because I don't think I've ever seen you on here before. So how cool. Thanks for coming on. Well, you can't even see my fireplace. You have to see the fireplace, right? I mean, it's kind of about the fireplace, right? So anyway, I'm coming to you this morning pretty candid. I did put earrings on and a little makeup, but hey, Joy, good morning. Nice to see you this morning. But I mean, as you can see, my hair. And you know what? That is part of the really cool thing that has happened to me this week. Maybe it's been 10 days. I don't know, maybe not quite 2 weeks. But and even this week, someone in the family, a distant relative, passed away, and still it was an amazing week for me. But I'll tell you why. Nothing in my world changed. Nothing. So that had nothing to do with the week being amazing. The thing that was amazing is a recording that someone had sent me, a podcast. And there were two questions. There's two questions that absolutely stopped me in my tracks. So I wanted to share that with you this morning because it has really had a huge impact on my heart and mind. And I can honestly tell you these past 10 days have been a life changer, really a life changer. So the first question is this. It's actually the first question in the Bible. It's the shortest question too. And it's a question that God asks. It's right in Genesis. And God asks Adam, where are you? He asks, where are you? And when God asks, where are you? It is not because God doesn't know where you are. It's not that God's trying to find you. God's always with you. When God asks, where are you? What he wants to know is, you were made. You were made. This is God. This is God. God made us to be with him. So when God asks, where are you? We are obviously not with him ourselves. Now, he's with us, but there are things that get in the way. So the second question that's had impact on me these last 10 days is, what gets in the way of the way? The way being Jesus. For me, what is it that keeps getting in the way? I would guess for most of us, because one, I can't imagine there isn't anybody out there, anybody that doesn't have something that gets in the way sometimes. And I would imagine that you probably have more than one thing that gets in the way. But what is it that we don't have to know them all right now? We have to know what is getting in the way of me truly being in Christ, truly being with him. You know, when God made us, he made us to be in relationship with him. The human body is very unique. We know this kind of in the back of our mind, but God made us in his image. It doesn't say he made anything else on the planet in his image. It does say all that he created. It says in Romans 1:20, all that he created reflects his power and his divine nature, but nothing else is described as being in God's image, but we are. And there are some specific things that are different about human beings than anything else in creation. We have chins. Did you know that we are the only creation on the planet with a chin? We're the only creation with a language that not only can we speak with our mouth and communicate with our mouth in very specific ways, but also that we can write, and that we have brains that comprehend that and work through all of those things. We as human beings are different, and we're different because God made us to have a relationship with him. So the question is, what gets in our way? And as I have been praying through that, and I have been journaling and working through those two questions, where are you and what gets me in the way of the way? Good morning, Karen. Nice to see you this morning. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. So as I've been thinking about these two questions, I keep coming back to this picture. I'm a visual person. Are you guys? Do you guys think sometimes you need a visual to help you remember or help something be represented for you? Maybe I'm crazy that way, but that's how I'm built. I have visuals that help me remember things that I want to remember. So the visual that keeps coming back to me is a newlywed. Because when I think of God asking Adam, where are you? And he's asking Adam, why aren't you here with me? Because something has gotten in the way of Adam being with him. So when God asks that, he's reminding us that he wants us close to him. Oh, hey, Jen. Nice to see you. Yes, I'm definitely a visual too. And thank you, Diane. Diane said I'm not alone in thinking visually. Yeah, so there you go. We got a few people on that can relate to needing a visual sometimes to be reminded of something that we need to do or go or be or something. So for me this week, it has been the newlywed. And I was thinking about before Mike and I got married. And there was something that kept getting in my way. We almost split up before we were married because I had a hard time getting over something that I had a hang up about. But Mike loved me so much that he kept working with, he kept asking me, he kept wanting me, he kept expressing to me his love for me. And when I finally let go of the thing that kept getting in my way, we were able to get married. We got married and we became one, and we were able to share that joy and that closeness. And when, not just closeness physically, but closeness in our lives, combining our lives, working together. And that is a perfect picture. Well, it's not even perfect because Mike and I weren't perfect. Who is, right? But it's the closest thing that we can come to. It's the closest visual that we can have that can help represent for us this embracing, continuously wanting to be with the one you love. And this is what God is calling us to have. This is the question, where are you? And that second question, what keeps getting in the way? I keep thinking that my desire for Jesus needs to be like the desire of the newlywed. That, when you're first married, there's just this, it's just so incredible. It's so new and it's so wonderful and there's so much joy, and you can't be close enough times. You just continuously want to have that embrace and that conversation and that time together. And that is exactly what God is calling us to do. And so for me, the thing that keeps getting in the way is fear and anger. And I don't think of myself as an angry person. I'm not an angry person. I don't, punch walls or people or scream at people or anything like that. But I do stomp around. I do rush. I rush through things because I'm annoyed. Maybe annoyed is a better word than angry, but annoyed comes from anger. So it is anger, but it looks more like annoying. Okay. So being annoyed by, just frustration, things just aren't going right. That gets in the way of me being with the way. It gets in the way of that beautiful, sweet, close relationship Jesus wants to have with me, not just in my morning prayer time, but all day long. All day long. What do we have? I'm not sure what that says. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here this morning. But I just wanted to share that with you this morning because it has truly, truly had a huge impact on me today, or not just today. It has had an impact on me today, but for the last 10 days, and even, yesterday, I forgot to put a post up on Facebook in the morning, and I know some of you look for those. And it is very interesting that didn't happen because I'm just finding myself wanting to be more in the moment. What is it that I need to do right now? Not rushing around, not trying to make things happen, not afraid that if I don't know. I just feel like it's a piece that's been missing for me, and it's changed the way I'm thinking. I want to savor every moment, whatever it is that I'm doing. I was downstairs this morning. I made breakfast for my mom, and I just found myself enjoying that time instead of rushing through that time. Can y'all relate to that? Do you do that? Does anybody else do that? Just feel like you have to slam, bang, rush, stomp, and get through this one thing so you can get on to the next thing. I see a heart, so I'm not sure who the heart came from, but thank you. And I know if Jesus is with me, what do I have to do that for? If the thing for me to do in that moment is make my mom breakfast, why not enjoy it? Why not enjoy it because I can do it with him? Why not? When Mike and I were first married, we did everything together. Everything. We did everything together. We cooked together. He would clean the dishes while I dirtied the dishes. But we were in the kitchen doing it together. Every day you hate it. What is that, Jen? Because I know that message came in after my question. What is it that you hate? Can you tell me? Yeah. Yeah. So Jen is even saying, her daughter is 20 and she feels the pain of life being such a rush all the time. I think maybe that's part of our culture, that there's this self-imposed pressure we feel we have to get everything done. For me personally, since Mike died, my rushing around has been out of fear that that I need to find a way to bring in the income that I need. And I'm just being honest, that has really been a huge pressure. It's been a stress for me. But what I've realized is I've taken the last 10 days to really think about what gets in the way of the way for me. It's been this fear. And in my fear, I have rushed around trying to create 100 different things that I can think of, clever ideas that I've tried to manifest. And, praise God. I thank Him for not letting a lot of these things work out because they've all been done in my own strength. I am an idea machine. I have clever ideas. I'm witty. I'm creative. I've been a fighter most of my life. I'm a fixer, and I can come up with solutions. But I don't always come up with God. And the one thing that He's calling me to do, and I can promise you, I'm not alone in this. He's calling all of us to just be with Him and to trust Him that He has the rest in His hands, that He is the one. If He gave His entire life, His body and His life up for us, why would we ever think that He wouldn't give us everything else we need? And it doesn't have to make sense to anybody in the world. It doesn't have to make sense. And I have found that this week, I even want to keep this sacred closeness quieter. Not quieter in the sense that I don't want to share that experience with you, or that God's calling us to have that experience with Him, but sacred in the sense that the things that I really believe He's churning away in me and giving me this trust in are things that they're not going to make sense to a lot of other people. So I want to keep them protected. I want to let Him bring those things into manifestation to the point where others can see that God did something. It was God that did something, not Gail, who's amazing. It's God that's amazing. And Pebbles, I don't know if it's okay for me to share. She says she continuously gets in her own way, don't we all? And then blame God for what's happening. Can y'all relate to that? Can anyone else relate to that? I can. Pebbles, I can. I can definitely, I've been angry. I mean, I can tell you all that when Mike died, I was not happy with God about it. I knew that it was Mike's time. I could accept that. There were many things about Mike's death. I could accept it. But I didn't want my life to have to change, and I was mad about that. So it's true. And sometimes we don't even have the whatever it takes for us to be honest enough in what we're doing. I was angry, and I wasn't even able to be honest enough with myself to see that I was for a while. And you know what? That's okay, because whatever happened yesterday has paved the way for me to be to today, where I can see and hear Him calling me and asking, where are you? and asking that second question, what is it that gets in the way of the way? And I just want to encourage you this morning. Take time. I know our world does not give us permission to do that. I know that as women, we have some kind of cultural pressure that says we have to be super women. Do you know, in God's eyes, I really believe the superwoman to God is the one who just sits at his feet like Mary. And that's not to say that we don't get things done. We're women. We have a lot to do. And we have a lot of things that vie for our attention. But yes, Diane, like Diane is saying, she's always going to God and asking him why this and why that. You know, I think if we ask why, in a way, maybe without us realizing it, that's a sign of our separateness. It's already a sign that something's got in the way of our way. And I say that because if we would learn the art, and ladies, I'm still learning it. I'm a baby at this, okay? But if we learn the art, and I'm just touching base on this now, but if we learn the art of living our lives with him, being that newlywed, being the beautiful bride that just wants to be with our love. If we would just learn to live that way in our circumstances, we wouldn't even have to ask why, because we've been part of his process all along. And sometimes the things that we ask why about are the things that are God's way of asking, where are you? So this has just really been mind-blowing, heart-changing, and it has really given me a different perspective of where I'm at in my life and the chapter that God is writing for me in this season and the one to come. And it just feels like he's changed me right down to the core in this. And it was just my hope that I could communicate that in a way clear enough for it to rattle your own heart, that you also might hear God say, where are you? And that you might take the time to say, I'm here. And for you to take the time to say, I recognize what has gotten in the way. Show me how to get it out of the way so that I don't fall away from you ever again. So that's my heart for you this morning. And you can see that it's really deeply touched me. And I really believe truly has changed me to the core. And I hope that it has great impact for you as well. I love you all. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that you will take some time today just to spend with Jesus. Because you know what? It might not seem like you have time, but you do. You do. And I know you do. You know why? I know that no matter what you've got going on today, I know that God has provided the time and space and way for you to be with him today. You know why? Because that's what you were created for. That is exactly what you were created for. And he's made the way. So get whatever's in your way out of the way to be with the way. How's that for a play on words? I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I hope that you're all pondering those questions, like you said, Diane. Thank you. I hope that as you ponder this, I would love for you to share with me. Um, Thank you, Jen. Um, I hope you'll share with me how these two questions and just what I've shared with you today might have impact on you in your week. So I'd love to hear from you throughout the week. And I hope that everyone else in your life can see a change as you begin to let the things that get in your way um, get out of the way. All right. Love you. And I love to hear how all of this is impacting you. Thank you, Jackie. Bye, everyone. I love you. Bye-bye.